earlier at the beginning of the stream saying that Kisame beats Pain.
Yeah, that's pretty common. You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah,
Um,
Kisame, yeah, he doesn't beat Pain. Pain blitzed and destroyed Casey Naruto. Casey Naruto blitzed Kisame, so it's
um,
very unlikely.
I think mainly no, I'm not saying like I don't think Kisame beats Nagato. I do think that Kisame does beat like the group of Pains though, mainly due to his scaling to Killer B and how Killer B is um I would argue high is above A, and then based off of like his sheer durability, all that sort of stuff with Guy, and mainly because you can say that yes, the chakra attacks from B would fluctuate because of Samehada, so I would say that his durability scaling to Guy would help more, mainly because Guy's power wouldn't fluctuate in the fight, and then you have his strength that you can go on look at all his fights and see, okay, would he be able to smack a Pain away with his strength? And so like I mainly sort of base my arguments for Kisame versus Pain off of how fast is Killer B, and also how durable is um, Kisame based off of Guy's attacks, because well his it I think it was the Hirodora was one that tore through Madara's basic Susanoo, the ones that he was using to fight the Kage with. So
Right, so you'd have to prove that Pain is significantly weaker than Nagato, and he was significantly weaker than his full power because he was fatigued in the Konoha village. He used a chaotic Shinen Tensei, fought the entire Konoha simultaneously. So when he did fight Stage 1 Naruto, he was heavily fatigued and nowhere near full power. So you'd have to prove that full power Pain at his optimal is
That's like
significantly
saying
weaker than
Kasame
Nagato.
with Samahata is like scales to Kasame that fought fucking Guy. You know, like it
Yeah,
with Seventh
oh
Gate.
yeah,
Like, come on.
I'm
not
more
equivalent.
so sorry, you go.
Yeah, you'd have to prove that, which I don't see how you could without it being stated or implied that he's much weaker. Um, so yeah, that's what you have to do first to even establish that scaling.
And not only that, just to kind of add on it, like if we're really looking even at the narrative, you name it, like Kishimoto has like countless fucking data books that are just basically saying Pain's the strongest. You know, like he's a leader due to his fucking power and charisma, you name it, and that's why they have to follow him whether they like it or not. You know, like it's like there's just so much stuff to narratively support that he's, you know, definitely up there as the strongest thing, at least in comparison with all the other Akatsuki members. I'm not saying like Obito
Exactly
or
right.
Itachi, you know, but fucking, you know, when it comes like, it's definitely being implied in that sense. And it's just stated over and over, the whole God aspect, the whole, you know, he's a, you know, fucking omnipotent. Not, I'm being exaggerating, but you know, the whole divine thing. That's basically all that's being said about him, and it's never. Yeah, Kasame's never getting that level of hype or reputation or respect. It's kind of similar with Minato. You know what I mean? Like he has all these statement blah blah, you name it, yada yada yada. It's really weird to say, oh, that's not the case, and etc. X, Y, and Z. You know, so you have that to kind of go off of. And then, you know, and like I said, with the whole, what Jay was kind of saying, with him being fatigued, you name it, you know, you can't limit scaling to someone that's not even at full power, okay, because that's just being disingenuous in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, and then not only that, he was still able to beat, you know, basically the whole village and Sage Naruto while being fatigued and tired, and then still has enough juice to fight against V2 Six Tails Naruto, which, remind you, okay, is obviously stronger, well, should be stronger in a sense than like the V2 Eight Tails, if you get what I'm saying. Like the V2 Eight Tails completely shitted on Kasama. Yeah, he was able to react, but he still gets fucked up and bleeding, you name it. While Pain can just, while fatigued and tired, outrun a V2 bloodlusted Six Tails Naruto. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like there's just so much to kind of show that he's just on a different level. It's really weird to say that Kasame should just be above and just be able to beat his ass. And it's even shown with Itachi. Like once he whips out Mangekyo, Kasama can't fuck with him. And Rinnegan's obviously a higher level Dojutsu. Then you got to put into consideration of Nagato having tremendously way more higher chakra levels and stamina, his vitality, because of him being associated with, it was a Monkey Clan and everything, you name it. Like, he was able to wield 2 Renegons, only a feat that Madara could do, so it's just, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like with the hacks, with the narrative implications, with his abilities, what he was able to do while also fatigued and weakened, he's just I don't know. I just don't see Kisame fucking with him at all.
Right. So also what you would have to do, since claiming Kisame is strong is fighting a losing battle against the narrative itself, you'd have to kind of have to give a rational argument as to why that would be the case if Pain is stated as the strongest in the Akatsuki. From which I would say you could argue Obito and Itachi are excluded, because Itachi's undercover and Obito's the real head of the Akatsuki. So clearly Kisame most definitely is in that range of, he's below Pain. So you'd have to also go against that and rationally argue why that would be
even in
correct.
The manga. It's stated, it's like on the bottom of the chapter where it says, the strongest Akatsuki goes to capture Naruto, at the Nine Tails, so
empirically
it's not charisma.
There's not much for him empirically to suggest that, so to suggest Kisame is above him.
But I do understand your reasoning though, like with the whole Killer Bee ranking and scaling and whatnot. Like I get what you're saying.
I think with the whole strongest member of the Akatsuki statement goes for Itachi, because in the I think it's in the next
panel
chapter, Itachi's the one who shows up to Naruto and talks to him about Sasuke, and then because neither Obito or Pain or any other character shows up, at least to my memory, about like showing up to Naruto during the beginning of the chapter when Itachi talks to him. And most of the basis for my argument of like Kisame over Pain is the whole implication of how he has fought Itachi multiple times and is definitively below him, but Killer B, someone superior to A. You get where I'm going with that? I know that.
Pain would just be superior to those guys, simply put.
Yeah, basically, Pain just scales to those people. You know what I mean? So, meaning, yes, he would scale to like KCM, to Raikage, Killer B, etc.
Power Pain.
Full power, at least.
Yeah, he's a relative to Edo Nagato, so.
And Nagato, mind you, Nagato's controlling the passive Pains with his chakra. Like, it's not like it's these random ninja utilizing their own chakra and power. It's him using his own chakra to control these bodies. You know what I mean? So it's his power, it's his chakra. So just to say that they scale entirely different in comparison to Nagato is also a little weird as well.
And he also blitzed Killer B crippled, by the way.
Yeah, that too. Like with white hair cripple, he fucking was dealing with KCM, Naruto, and B at the same time. Yeah,
exactly.
Tendo Pain,
fucking him up.
Tendo Pain be weaker. That wouldn't make sense either.
So like, it's just really weird to say, like Kasame or even Killer B. Like I don't even, like to just completely shit on Pain. Like that's just really
blitzed
weird.
by an old withered Hiruzen.
And then we see that also further collaborated when Killer B goes against the Rinnegan for the first time. He's never dealt with it, and none of his attacks can do anything. He can't do anything. The Link Vision's just negating all that shit. And normally you would think, okay, if that doesn't work, let me just go to V1 or V2, which is what he normally does in character. No. Instead, he has to go like full fucking transformation and then clear out the whole fucking forest and then try to gain the advantage that way, So, and obviously, with Pain as a character, he has hacks. If Killer B's going to get serious, Pain will get serious as well and utilize his abilities, which would just basically defeat that, So, I don't know. I just, Pain, it's just as simple as he could be able to scale to them and beat them as well. It's that simple.
So much disrespect on Pain, bro. I don't get where it comes from in the fan base,
Yeah.
Like, nothing against you, though, Death69. Like, I feel you 100%, but I'm just keeping it real, though.
Yeah.
To okay, so that makes me a little curious. What is your guys' Akatsuki ranking? Because I feel like mine comes from a different place than all of yours.
Obito, Itachi, Pain, probably. With Itachi and Pain being damn near interchangeable, depending on
Yep.
the argument.
Yep.
So, Kisama's below all three of
I
those guys.
have ways, because I've actually done this myself, to be able to try to get technically Pain as number one. In comparison, like if it's being compared to Sekitachi and Obito, like whatever, there's certain lines, like if you analyze the whole Konan fight, you name it, etc. Like it's a whole other can of worms. But there are people that are out there that can be like, oh, Pain's number one, and I do have certain arguments that kind of get him in that way as well. But if you look at it in the whole grand scheme of things, the most popular, most common line of scaling is exactly what Jay said. It's just Obito, Tachi, Pain, or then it goes Obito, Pain, and Tachi. Those are the constant ones. The only other one you really see as well that is, very popular would be Pain, Obito, Itachi, or Pain, Itachi, Obito. It's
Underneath those, I would probably put like Kisame,
Kisame would,
Orochimaru,
Sorcery, Datara,
guys.
Kakuzu,
And then like Kakuzu, Konan, and then like Hidan.
Oh yeah, exactly.
To be
Konan
honest,
as well.
though, I think Kasame and Konan is interesting though.
With prep or not?
I think that Konan, her feat was so impressive because of the years of prep time. I think without them, she would have been dealt with.
Oh yeah, she got stomped by Jiraiya, bro.
Jiraiya bodied her.
Yeah, basically, base Jiraiya.
Obito.
What
She knows she
what
signed
do you
up
guys
for it,
think
bro.
that?
Go ahead.
Cause I mainly go off of like speed in Naruto, mainly because I do remember.
Hiruzen is slower than the Raikage, and he's considered superior. So speed's not the only variable.
Well, I
Ramen
know
Madara.
that.
So, for instance, like Death Madara, like travel speed wise, like he was able to react to Raikage's full speed. You know what I mean, like he's not moving at like the same speed like travel wise, but he could still react. You know what I mean?
If we're going off of speed, then Minato would be the strongest non-six pass character. Clearly, he's not.
Exactly.
Well, it mainly goes off of like a tiering system sort of thing, like how Orochimaru. I know it's a little shaky, but Orochimaru in part one put even though it said that all Sanin in part one of Naruto are equal, Orochimaru put Tsunade below them, comparing her to Kakashi. Kabuto compares himself to Kakashi. He's able to keep up with Tsunade. So
Well, that was a mentally nerfed Tsunade, though.
Yes, I do agree with that, but it would still sort of it to a certain degree, especially seeing as how Kabuto was still able to, at the very least, react to her. And Orochimaru.
Again, she was nerfed, and the fact that she pummeled Orochimaru, who's superior to Kabuto, just kind of negates that. After she was gained a mental fortitude, she not bodied, but starting to beat the shit out of Orochimaru. So, which again reinforces the notion of relativity.
Yeah, like what he's saying basically, Death, is that wasn't a prime Tsunade. That's like a rusty Tsunade that hasn't really done shit, and who knows how long. Like, also has blood.
Pissing herself, yeah.
Also has like blood, psychological weakness, which is tremendous. Okay, for weakness. Like now, I know that's besides the point because they start fighting. You're right. Kabuto does dodge, and they're basically able to be relative enough to where they're both huffing and puffing. Then he does like a pill, and then now he has a stamina chakra back while she's fully fatigued, and then he gets the upper hand.
Also, you could argue that she was still mentally nerfed even previously to that because she was conflicted about having to betray Jiraiya and company. So in fact, she was still mentally nerfed.
So there's a lot of variables. So we just unfortunately you can't concretely prove that. It's stated that Kabuto's Kakashi blah blah. Yet he could be able to fight. Assigning blah blah. Like it's just really weird for Kishimoto to provide all those statements and narrative implications, and then out of nowhere for it to be contradicted just for shits and giggles. Obviously, it has to be to do more to variables.
If you want to go one step further, Kabuto was scared of heavy Sasuke before he kills Orochimaru, or after, I believe. So that also implies inferiority to someone weaker than Orochimaru. Yeah. So there's also that. So that just further proves that he's inferior.
Kabuto was told by Orochimaru, "You can't kill me. You're Kakashi level. So the only way to stop me is killing Sasuke." What does he do? He doesn't try to fight Orochimaru. he goes to just kill Sasuke. You know, so
and then eventually he's even intimidated by Sasuke. So that happens too. And he's below, and he scales below Orochimaru. So
Okay. I do still sort of so the whole speed tier thing that I was talking about, I still sort of think that it could exist, probably mainly due to characters like like the Pains, for example. During Jiraiya's fight against them, Jiraiya, they are still able to block hits from him, and including the weaker paths. I think it was the summoning path, the male one,
Animal.
that blocked a punch from him, and then later
it
Sage
was the soul
Naruto
grabbing one, the one that didn't have eyes.
destroys
Yeah.
all of them. At least when the Diva path is on ground. I think that uh, base Naruto was exchanging blows, but I don't remember if it
it
was
was
base
mostly
or
Sage Mode was the one that bodied their shit, all of them. So
yeah. I would say that like uh because we do know it's a 10 times increase for Sage mode.
At least, yeah.
at
Yeah.
least I think it's more than that because
Yeah, Naruto could be more
replication was
technically because
Orochimaru's
that's only really
imperfect.
that's basically stated for Orochimaru's curse mark, which yes, the curse mark is Sage mode, but that's besides the point. But for Jiraiya, the data book statements does say 10 times as well for Jiraiya's Sage mode, but for Naruto, there's no clarification, so it could be higher technically.
It probably is higher.
Yeah, like for instances like that where then characters that are still like able to throw each other around and characters that are having a harder time keeping up with others, I sort of categorize them in this sort of speed tiers where they if a character is having a harder time with one another in like the character skills or fights another character later on. Like for example, Sasori. I jumped around a lot with his scaling, especially like early on.
Hmm.
I originally thought, oh, because of all the things I heard about him, oh, he probably just scales to Sakura. But then I
No.
looked at it things later on. I also
That's like
heard about
Shizumi and
with
Danzo.
Dio and
Yep.
Yeah.
KCM, and I thought, oh, he's probably faster than like, but no, it's probably I want to go a little bit more conservative, so let's go down a little and see what else I can find. I found some things when he was in Edo, so I mainly with stuff like that, I mainly try to be as conservative as I can, especially when
It's
it comes to
open-minded, right?
things like
Yeah.
that. So I for the pains, I mainly put them at the rung of light speed, mainly because of the fact that I think that KCM is a bigger boost than Sage Mode. Otherwise, Sage Mode would have been used a whole lot more, particularly during the war arc against the Jinchuriki.
Uh-huh.
Mainly because the um, uh, other abilities that Sage Mode gives Naruto would be, I think, better than KCM. So
Well, it is stated verbatim that sensory reaction for Sage Mode is technically better than KCM, but but regardless, that's just but KCM was technically still implied by Naruto to be more powerful overall in a general sense.
That's why he used it against the Raikage.
Yeah, that's why he used it against them. That's why he says that against to Nagato, and that's also why he even says that to beat Sasuke. So yeah, Sage Mode can be relative or even superior in certain aspects compared to KCM, but KCM is still stronger overall. But either way, like I think you said before with the whole where it's weird where like Pain is fighting base Naruto, but yet he can do a Sage Mode Jiraiya and all that other stuff, yada yada. So they kind of
fatigue.
Yeah, so the base, that's the problem. Once again, it's because he's getting more tired and fatigued. So like you got to remember when the fight first starts, Pain's a little bit caught off guard like by just how crazy strong Sage Naruto is because he immediately just one shots the fucking robot path of Pain with a Rising on. Okay, You know, now regardless if you want to consider that a mental amp, you know, kind of similar to what Jiraiya did when he did basically the same exact thing in the beginning of the fight when he goes in Sage Mode, like the Path of Pain charges him, and he just kicks him in his fucking face. He couldn't do anything. And when you look at the data book, it says, oh, Jiraiya like hardened his resolve. So that was obviously a mental amp moment, and then from there it just goes on. So regardless if you apply that for Naruto or not, it doesn't matter. Throughout in the anime and even in the manga, all the passive pains are able to react to Sage Mode Naruto. Like the summoning one is able to react and kind of go blow for blow, whatever. And then even Tendo was able to react at a certain moment where he's able to move his arms up and block the kick. You know, in the anime, it shows him blocking several punches and then the kick happens. So like, there's plenty of implications for a fatigue, tired, pain to still be relative or similar to Sage Mode. Now, obviously, Sage Mode does overpower him. Eventually, he is outclassed to a certain degree, but he can keep up with it. And mind you, this is from a tired, fatigued Path of Pain, and as the fight continues on, then he's shown to, you know, combat against Space Naruto, and then he's about to end the fight by using his rod, which would have stabbed and got his ass, but he summoned Seijon back in time to create an, you know, an off-guard moment, and then basically, you know, got the upper hand, which led with the whole kick thing and the punches. So, like, a lot of people try to downplay Pain because of that, you know, of, oh, Pain is, you know, shown to fight against base Naruto and yada yada, which meaning therefore he scales the base. That doesn't make any sense because he can literally not only have exchanges with Sage Mode Naruto, and then whenever he uses jutsu activation like hacks, you name it, that all can also compete against Sage Mode Naruto. And then when Tendo Pain gets his powers back, he instantaneously shits on it. It's not even a fight anymore. And mind you, this is when he's weakened and fatigued. So
instantly,
you know, so like, go ahead.
So basically, the most concrete scaling that is very hard to combat is this: that so Killer Bee lost to a crippled, weak Edo Nagato easier than he lost to a full power Kisame. Kisame got blitzed by V2. It wasn't exactly a one-shot battle. Killer Bee literally got one-shotted and got his chakra absorbed by an not old, but a very withered and weakened Nagato, who's blatantly inferior to a Tendo Pain, because if it wasn't, then what would the point of these reanimations be anyway? So clearly he's weaker than the passive Pain, so that's why he had him in the first place. But yet, as an Edo, was able to blitz Killer Bee. So you'd have to prove why Pain would lose to Kisame based off that scaling.
Like I've just looked at it again because I just wanted to make sure, like white hair and crippled, like his whole body fucked up and white hair, meaning he's not at full power. Yeah, Killer Bee goes to V2, charges at him, does the does a punch, and he just dodges that shit effortlessly. And then Shinra tenses him, and then fights Casey and Naruto and shits on him too. Like Kasame was able to react, but he couldn't dodge, while Nagato could dodge.
One shot at him essentially.
Yeah, like come on. You know?
Not even close.
What's the booster that you guys think for ACM?
Booster, it's hard to quantify with a quantitative value.
yeah, that's arbitrary.
Not that it really matters anyway, because the best you could do is give a qualitative analysis when scaling. That's why I don't use numerical values very often, unless it's Dragon Ball, where Toriyama blatantly states multiplier. Either way, quantification is irrelevant when there's narrative implication. It doesn't matter if you want to classify something as significant, that does matter. But as long as you know who wins based off the narrative, that's what matters.
Yeah, and it's annoying because people try to rat and be like, "Oh, well, if you can't quantify
this guy's going
and it's like, no,
300.3 million miles per hour. It's like, how do you prove that?
Yeah.
Unless it's stated by the writer, you can't really prove that. Pixel scaling is bullshit because it's an arbitrary metric system that you solely only create yourself. So each subjective lens can be different. Yeah, the calculations are arbitrary. Like unless Toriyama's case where he's like, this guy gets 50 times multiplier.
Then there you go. But like one prime example, you know, somebody makes a calc. I'm not going to say a name, but makes a calc about Zetsu being able to speed blitz KCM, Minato, etc. You name it all at once. Okay. Bullshit, but yet there's literally a statement provided by Kishimoto to where Zetsu says, "If I detach from Obito, I will be killed instantaneously. I know the strengths and abilities of these two. I can't remove, otherwise I would." And his whole goal and incentive is to get to Madara to give him the Rinnegan. So that would make sense for him to be playing an act or manipulating or bullshitting. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, that's why when people do calcs or pixels, they can do that to easily misconstrued or rat in scaling.
Yeah,
And you have
there's
to be
no
careful.
way to there's no way to prove that your metric system coincides with the narrative at all. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Unless the writer says, yeah, that works, but that
It's
doesn't
just
happen.
pure speculation.
And if it's like supported though, like for instance, like if we're talking maybe about like Minato or Raikage, shit like that, that's a little different, you know?
Yeah, like
because
there's significant gaps, like Minato versus Tenten. Clearly, it's vast, and you don't even need a quantification. It's, all you know is that there's a vast gap. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So the quantification is irrelevant at that point.
Well,
That's why I don't-
gentlemen, I hate to interrupt, but I think I might have to depart at the moment. I got like a 2-hour drive ahead of me to see some family and stuff. But
yeah,
I
I'm about to wrap it up
appreciate-
anyway. But yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it again, man. It's been a wonderful time.
no
you
problem,
too,
Pippin.
Batman.
Yeah,
No doubt, bro.
always, brother.
Sure. Hopefully next
Have a
Saturday we do a
Have a
debate
good
thing.
time.
Yeah, I'll be available, man, for sure. So much love to you guys. Be safe. Happy holidays.
I'll be ready to fight
Appreciate it,
Superman and
brother.
Wonder Woman.
Good
Let's
one.
get it.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.
Talk to
Peace
you
out.
soon.
Peace.
Peace. The main reason why I sort of like asked this is because I'm doing an Akatsuki ranking video soon on my channel,
Okay.
and the whole structure of it is sort of based on speed because I'm mainly concerned about like, okay, Pain's are a group, yes, but there are characters that do grow considerably faster, and characters like, for instance, characters that Naruto fights, example being being uh Itachi, Obito. um I might include Sage Kabuto because I see a lot of references of how the Akatsuki is still exists in the war arc, so I would probably put Sage Kabuto a part of um the Akatsuki in the list. So yeah.
You're saying Sage Kabuto is superior to the Akatsuki?
No, I'm saying that like I would have him on the list.
Oh,
Like
on the
he
list.
would,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
like based off of like all the things that I found of like,
Yeah,
does he
he'd be in that range. He wouldn't
aspect-
be top tier, but he'd be in the range though.
I I think that like, can I tell you guys the listing that I had?
Sure, yeah. And then
Yeah.
I guess we'll move on after that. Yeah.
The listing what is Mike Zetsu, Hidan, Conan, HATER, then all the pain, then Sasori, then Pain, then then Kisame. Yeah, I know it might seem a little ratty to put the Diamond Boy up there. I know.
Oh,
And then there's Obito, and then at number one I have Itachi.
yeah. Yeah, I would revise that if I were you, for sure. Kakuzu lost to not even MS. Well, not lost to, but had a tough time with base Sharingan Kakashi and lost to Russian Shuriken Naruto. Kisame would solo them. Pain would solo them. Itachi would solo them. Obito would. It's not.
Yeah.
I'd
Not
revise
only
if I
that,
were you.
it's stated verbatim by Hit on that he's like the slowest, you know, when it comes to like attack speed, blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's shown consistently that Kakasu is relative to that same Hit on. I'm not saying that like, oh, Kakasu is the same exact speed, but he's basically in a similar ballpark. He's not like too far off of
Yeah.
difference either. Like the same, like Hit on's going to show blow for blow with Kakashi. Kakaku does the same thing. You know what I mean? Even with us, even with everybody else, like they're basically in the same speed ballpark. So like, you know, if you're doing it based on speed, Kakasu is literally pretty relative. You know, I'm not like if you want to like be, you know, annoying, you could say equal and kind of downplay him in a bit. But I'm not going to be that. I'll say he's at least faster a little bit, but it's not by like a large margin. And so if you're doing it based on speed, Kakasu would definitely be one of the slowest people. He's not the fastest. Even with his
not
tentacles and everything, like it's stated in the data books that he has no blind spots. So meaning it wasn't an off guard attack. It wasn't an element of surprise. Okay, it was meaning that Naruto moved so fast twice, remind you, to where he was able to speed blitz him. And this is further supported because in the manga it just shows like his body when Naruto lands the first hit, like just facing in front of him. But in the anime, it actually shows him turning, so he has plenty of time to react. He turns around, and then he still can't do anything. And the Naruto would have hit him and killed him, but it fizzled. So like he has enough reaction speed to do something, but not enough to like get out of the way or get out of the attack. Like just enough to just move and maybe like I don't know, move a fucking tentacle or something. But it's not going to be enough, and he just gets hit either way. So and not only that, it's not an excuse from him being behind or whatever, because we see Shikamaru being able to dodge Kakazu from behind when he had no idea he was there. We've seen Naruto do it with Haku. It's shown millions of fucking times in the show of Naruto and Shippuden that you can dodge an attack if someone's behind you. It's shown many fucking times.
Off guard is it's very rare that you see an off guard situation. Off guard situation is Jubidar and Zetsu, although that's
Literally.
still bullshit, but that was off guard.
Or like
but Kakazu was not off guard.
Too, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Look, Kakazu was never caught off guard. He just failed to react to the
like even Kakashi,
speed.
like yeah, he couldn't sense him, but like if someone's charging at you at a certain speed, okay, you'll eventually be able to detect their presence. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to pick up at least on something.
A good example is Obito. Obito just reacts to everything because he's faster than everybody.
Yeah, and that or even Pain. Like yes, I know the linked vision, but he still has to have enough reaction speed. And guess what? Kakashi did the same thing to the robot Pain. That's something Kakazu couldn't dodge.
He's so fast at point blank range, he's reacting to people.
So like so from behind, that's not an excuse either. And then like I said, once again, the whole no blind spots thing. So Kakazu, with him losing to regardless if you think base Naruto or baby QB amp Naruto, doesn't matter. It's still bad. Okay, and also struggling against Kakashi, and then also being stated verbatim that he only needed Kamui. There's just no way you can put Kakazu that high. I'm sorry.
He's a lower tier Akatsuki member. Yeah.
Do you think though that he was okay? So I do know that it's probably not seen or shown, but or like noticed a whole lot, but from I rewatched the fight multiple times, mainly because I rewatched and also looked at manga panels because I believe the source material goes above all other versions. And I tried to like make sure because I heard that the long drawn out, not drawn out, but the taijutsu exchange between Kakashi and Kakazu was anime only. I did find like short snippets of pieces of the taijutsu exchange in the manga, but I don't believe the whole thing was in there. And based off of the
What about Shikamaru? What about your thoughts on Shikamaru being able to go blow for blow with hit on and Kakazu technically as well, and keeping pressure on them? I get what you're saying. Like you don't like the whole anime because you probably don't consider it canon. You wanted to stick to the manga. That's fine. But like with Shikamaru, like obviously it's not Kakashi, and we know Kakashi should be able to fucking come on. Like he should be able to shit on Shikamaru. Yet Shikamaru can be able to deal with both of them by himself. Okay, when he pulls up on them again and pressure them with shadow possession, paper bombs, you name it.
Yes,
yeah, and I mean Kakashi doesn't even use MS, and he's still relative to Kakazu. Yeah. He says that verbatim, so Kakashi's definitely not at that point near even Sasuke's level, and Sasuke's not Kisame's level. So
like the only time Kakazu even lands hits on Kakashi is when he gets behind him to create enough of a time interval to just to get the upper hand. But that's the same thing Kakashi does to him, and the same thing Naruto does to him. You know what I mean? So they're showing
blatant relativity, and then
it's blatant relativity.
And then a stronger Kakashi gets just ass whooped by one Pain, and that Pain is easily, casually just toying with him and just flicks an L at him to take him out. It's not even close. So, and that's MS Kakashi, by the way.
Pain blitzes him like he does them all
easily
the wall, and like to where he can't go anywhere. And then what he does is he stabs him before he can land the Raikiri. So he blitzes him, and then controls his chakra to make him miss and just moves his head. Like
stronger Kakashi gets his ass whooped. Pain's not even trying; he's toying with him.
Yeah, he's just exactly like I don't know, man. Like I get it, like of how you could try to like maybe do something for Kakazu, but it's to me it's very crystal clear that he's shown very, very relative to base Naruto to even Kakashi. Not only that, if you even look at it further, Asuma was relative as well to hit on, and the same hit on that could also be relative to Kakashi. Which is impressive because, yes, there's a statement of him being slow, but guess what? It wasn't slow enough to where Kakashi was able to deal with him instantaneously. Like, he was forced to block everything and deal with Kakuzu's attacks at the same time. Like, if Kakuzu was drastically faster than Kakashi or way more powerful, he should have just killed him. That didn't happen. So
for a little thing that I do use to like that I have found at some points to say like, I don't think the masks scale to Kakuzu's speed at all because they are barely able to dodge a lightning strike from its own lightning mask. The fire and wind ones barely dodge it, and Kakashi's able to easily run straight to it. Choji and Ino can't. Um, and then there's the shoot, I forget which where at the end of the fight it was, but when Naruto jumped back to try and do the Rasen Shuriken again, grabs base Naruto and does the thing where he's about to like rip out his heart by wrapping his tendrils around him. And there's the thing where he gets Kakashi, and Kakashi with his wires. I don't think that like problem with Kakazu is that him along with Sasori, and I would say that probably Kisame fit in this weird mix where we aren't given a whole lot of fights or details about them to say definitively like where they fit, because the only attack that that the attacks that go through Kakazu are a durability bypassing one and a attack that counters his diamond armor, and then you also have like the weird stuff with his
what do
speed with
you mean with the whole
details.
durability thing? I'm confused on that.
Yeah.
Like, wait, are you saying he only got hit because it was due to hacks?
It's
No,
it's not durability bypassing because the Rasen Shuriken did nothing to the third Hokage, so it doesn't bypass durability.
Yeah, and not only that, a Sage Art Massive Rising Shuriken did nothing to Edo Madara as well.
Yeah. So it doesn't bypass durability. You lack if you lack the adequate durability, it's going to hit you and hurt you. The third Hokage, it didn't do nothing to him, but the Kakuzu got fucked up.
Do you think the lightning cloak thing was more based on the needles than Madara's?
Well, no, because it's the elemental weakness. It's he's literally tanking his elemental weakness, something Kakuzu couldn't even do to lightning.
Yeah,
like the third Raikage has lightning armor, and he gets hit by a KCM Rising Shuriken, not even Sage Mode, KCM, and he licks his fingers.
There's instances where it doesn't affect somebody, so it's not durability bypassing.
So if you have enough chakra, you can negate your elemental weakness, basically. And
also in the chakra, in the manga, it does show Kakuzu turning his head, and he just fails to react, by the way.
Yeah.
It shows the exclamation points over his head, and he gets hit by the next panel. So he just he fails to react because he lacks the speed. So.
And to engage in the other points you made, because I didn't mean to stop you, but you were making a lot of points, and I didn't want to like forget. But the other points that you made with the whole him getting Choji, Ino, and Kakashi, that was just an off-guard moment. So basically, Kakuzu, he goes into his next transformation, okay? Because he has his base, then he does his first transformation, which his tentacles get faster. Because what happens is he transforms, and the tentacles get faster, and they grab Kakashi, and Choji, and the Kakashi even says verbatim, like, "Oh shit, he's faster now." So, like, he was just caught off guard by the speed increase. But that doesn't mean anything because all Kakashi had to do was just use Raikiri and cut it off. Just like he did when he had Naruto. He could just cut that shit off. And also, with the fire style coming, so he could have just cut it off, done a water style, and then got Choji and Ino out of the way. Or he could have just done Kamui, and then Kamui Kakuzu and killed him. He even says if Naruto and Yamato didn't show up, he would have just resorted to using Kamui. So, like, that's not a guarantee that, he just scales over whatever. That was just a moment where he just had the upper hand, just like the other moments that were similar. But with this particular moment, it actually wasn't off guard because he had a substantial speed increase with his tentacles, and Kakashi just didn't expect that. You know.
What do you guys think about like when Kakazu was laying down after he got stabbed by the Chidori and Kakashi has his three Tomoe out
Mhm.
and Chidori, which I believe there's a statement about multiple things about how they both increases speed.
Yes, it's
Oh,
stated by Minato verbatim. It does increase speed, but the only problem is the quantification aspect of it. And from what we've at least seen, that it's not like a massive speed amp. I feel like that's kind of safe to assert. I don't know about how you feel with that as
mm-hmm.
well, Jay. And the reason
Yeah.
why is, when we look at Shidori, okay, yeah, it makes you faster, but not fast enough to blitz somebody, which is blatantly shown when Kakashi fights a Jonin. Okay,
And it doesn't matter anyway because a stronger Kakashi with MS gets his ass whipped by Pain, so it doesn't really
exactly.
matter.
He does the same thing Shidori,
Mm-hmm.
and Pain just deals with it effortlessly.
With
So,
MS, so it doesn't matter.
and regardless, Pain also does a similar feat with the robot path of Pain, which is tremendously better actually. Because yeah, Kaksu lost a heart, but his body is full mobile and he can still move. While the robot got fucking hit by a lightning Raikuri clone, then smashed to pieces by Choji's fucking not Choji, by his father's fist, and was still able to move fast enough to intercept and get in front of Kakashi, exactly what Kakazu did. But he just couldn't grab him or kick him or do anything because he had no, like, what, he was like missing like his arms and I think he had like what, one leg, I don't fucking know, but like he was fucked up, and he was still able to do the same feat that Kakazu did, but with more actual physical damage to his body. So it's just that doesn't really help. And regardless, even if that was to be granted, the speed amp from Shidori isn't massive because, like I said, when you see him use it against the Jonin would have killed Kakashi, but since Minato teleported and saved him, Kakashi still gets cut, but he didn't die at least. And Minato's like, hey, yeah, the speed's impressive, the power is great, whatever. Okay, but the problem is, you're basically vulnerable to attack because the person, if they're at similar scaling or speed, they could just maneuver out of the way or counter effectively with whatever they have. You know, so like,
Yeah.
so clearly it's not like a mass. In another example, then you see Sasuke against Naruto. Naruto goes one tail, whatever. He does CM2, which is 10 times, right? Then stacks a Shidori, which is even more amp of speed, right? But yet he still couldn't speed blitz Naruto and was still an equal like leveling. So the amplification for Shidori isn't massive. Yes, it does increase speed, but not to the point where you can just speed blitz. That's just not.
Definitely not enough to say that Kakuru's above Pain or Kisame.
Yeah, exactly, and that too. Like Itachi reacts to it effortlessly. Yes, I know it's Sasuke, but he does. Itachi reacts to Kakashi's Raikuri as well. He just jumps out of the way. Like it's strong, but it's not like that broken.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you say one more thing if you want to say your piece because we've been at it a while.
Yeah, I gotcha. I yeah, the whole thing with the tier list thing that I'm doing for the Akatsuki, I'm mainly concerned about like for one Kakazu mainly because I don't know how to scale like the two tails, attack speed and all that sort of thing. I mainly get troubled with like, okay, how do you quantify like a tail boost? Because that would also help figure out how strong Yugito is, because then you would have to decrease the speed of her attack on Killer B, and then you would also have to like figure out, okay, if that's like where she is there, then like, okay, then we do that multiplier with Mata Tabi, like to because KCM2 does destroy all the tailed beasts around them, absolutely wrecks them, smashes them around. Killer B, I think that he does scale to like KCM1 in speed, and yes, he does block the attack from Yugito, but then there's that. Yeah, I just think that like the whole Kakazu thing gets very messy, especially then you have like characters like Kisame who also have like this weird mesh with their scaling of like how do they even put together. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
then
I'll say this before I end this, like before I move on. So It's really not that weird. Kakuzu just doesn't scale that high. Also, the tailed beasts aren't equivalent in power clearly, as Nine Tails overpowers like 6 Jinchuriki simultaneously, as evident by the warp. So, Yubito or the Two Tails just scales much below Naruto or Killer Bee for that matter. Kisame bodies Killer Bee going all out, so that's enough to scale Kakuzu above. Kisame above Kakuzu. Kakuzu just doesn't scale anywhere near those guys, unfortunately. He fails to react to Rasen Shuriken Naruto. It's in the manga as well. It shows him his head turning and him being aware of him about to be attacked, so he wasn't caught off guard. That's not correct either. So simply put, he just doesn't scale that high. There really isn't nothing
And
for him
then
empirically. Let's
not only
speculate.
that, just to tag that further, like, yes, he can react to the pulse strike that's being thrown at him, but if you in the manga and the anime, right after he reacts, he just gets slammed into the ground and he's dealt with immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's scaling to the Two Tails and going blow for blow, or like he's fucking scales over it and blocked it and then just punches it in its face and sends it flying. That's not happening. You know, he blocks it, he reacts, has enough reaction speed bare minimum, blocks it, and then gets slammed into the ground and then hit on even further states like, oh shit, now it's just me, basically. I'm like a rat in the cage and he's hiding behind a wall. You know what I mean? Like, if Kakuzu and Hidon could just go blow for blow with this thing, they'd be doing that. But that was never emphasized or shown or anything. Okay? And then, like I said, if you're going to make the assertion, even try to scale him to Two Tails, which is just not there at all. He gets bodied by the Two Tails. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, okay, then why is he struggling against fucking Jonin or Naruto or other people or Shikamaru, okay, which have way less fucking striking power than the Two Tails? You know, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just, there's clearly contradictions and confliction in that line of scaling. And then what, like, you know, at the end of the day, what we do know with his Diamond Morph armor, you know, that could have been enough to help cushion the blow. Also, with chakra control, you can utilize chakra to amplify your body as well, which is basically anything anyone else can do to perform superhuman feats. So there's many ways of how that could allow him to be able to, you know, hit the blow at first, but he gets slammed to the ground. And we know he's like made of tentacles and all that weird shit. Like, he's not known for durability, which is why whenever he does get hit, he, like, his body goes into all that weird tentacle shit, you know? Like, so basically with that being said, you know, when he got slammed into the ground, he's probably like nothing but fucking spaghetti, you know, in there or whatever. And all fucked. But, you know, obviously since he's immortal, you know, he can get back up, whatever, and that's it. And the fight continues on.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, it's that simple.
So, yeah, I guess we'll end it there because we've been at this for like a half hour, but appreciate you asking. No, it's all good.
No, you're
appreciate
good,
you asking. And hopefully that gives some enlightenment. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It does really help. And also, before